the healing deep inside. Oh Lord, I was lowly, and you remember how I cried. I tried to travel my own road to weather my own separate storm, but you came to steady my stumbling and show me a humbling way of living in the light of a brand new day. I'll rise up, 'cause now I know that I can. Yes, I'll rise up and show the world who I am. When I fell down on my knees, your spirit came down and set me free. And now I'll rise up and help the world to believe. Oh Lord, in the stillness, I keep listening for your voice. Oh Lord, in the stillness, I hear the reasons to rejoice. Even when times are too trying and I am denying who you are, you love me ever so faithful, and I am so grateful now, 'cause you're the reason for the song I sing. I'll rise up, 'cause now I know that I can. Yes, I'll rise up and show the world who I am. When I fell down on my knees, your spirit came down and set me free. And now I'll rise up and help the world to believe.
There once was a spirit who knew it was the light among the other spirits whose lights were just as bright. But the spirit longed to experience what it would be like to be the light, to be the light. Now the spirit went to God and asked, how can I really know when all there is light and love everywhere I go? And there's brightness all around me, and every spirit shines. I want to go where I can show this little light of mine. Rise, little spirit, rise, little spirit. You'll go back to where you came from, and I know that you'll do well, and your Father is well pleased. So as you call upon the night, I will always be with you. You are the light. Now in order for this all to work, God caused it to forget who it was and why it came, but in its heart it left divine intuition that was sure to show the way back to the light through the darkest night, to make it home someday. Rise, little spirit, rise, little spirit. You'll go back to where you came from, and I know that you'll do well, and your mother is well pleased. So as you call upon the night, I will always be with you. You are the light. Now the night fell and the darkness came, and it was all the soul could see. and it cried out loud, "My God, why hast thou forsaken me?" Then suddenly from within, all became bright, and finally it realized and shouted, "I am the light. I am the light." Rise, little spirit, rise, little spirit, go back to where you came from, and know that you've done well, and your Father is well pleased. Spread your wings and take flight. Rise, little spirit, you are the light. Rise, little spirit, rise, little spirit, come back to where you came from, and know that you've done well, and your mother is well pleased. So spread your wings and take flight. Rise, little spirit, you are the light. I say you are the light. You are the light.
Good morning and welcome to the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living as we live stream here from the Inspiration Cafe in Paoli, Pennsylvania. I'm Maxine Kaye, and I'm so grateful to be the spiritual leader of this beloved congregation. So wherever you may be in the world, whether you're with us or whether you're out there in the greater area, we welcome you. And wherever you may be on your spiritual path, you're welcome here. We welcome you, we embrace you, we love you already. And we are all about, our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Our vision is a world that works for everyone, and our mission is to provide spiritual tools for personal and global transformation. Boy, that's a lot, isn't it? But it's not too much and it's not too little, it's just right, because we teach spiritual principles. And we utilize these beautiful spiritual principles to make a difference in our own lives, in the lives of our loved ones, moving out into our community, and eventually it ripples out into the world. So we're very, very happy that you have chosen to be with us this hour. And it's an opportunity for us to learn together, to grow together, to pray together, to sing together occasionally, and to support each other on our journeys, to encourage each other along the way. And we have a wonderful purpose statement here in our own community, and we'd invite you to say it with us now if you'd like to. Living, loving, learning, spirituality that works. And we'll have our opening song by Amy Steinberg, and it's simply called Rise.
Look up and sure to go up, look down and you probably fall down. Place your attention where you want to be and you will be there eventually. Look out and you're sure to go out, look back and you probably fall back. Place your focus on what you want to be and you will be it so easily. Rise, rise out of the old paradigm. Rise, rise into the presence of the divine. Rise, rise out of the old paradigm. Rise, rise into the presence of the divine. Think good and you're sure to feel good. Think love, you're probably falling in love. Watch your thoughts and choose carefully and you will become, yes you will be, just what you wanna that you get there. Oh, know that you'll be
What good energy. Thank you, Amy. Hi, kids. Come with me for just a couple of minutes. I always love having you with me, even when I don't see you, but I still feel you. You know, I grew up in this wonderful teaching, first of all, in a Unity Sunday school while I was still in my single digits. But when we moved to Redondo Beach, and I was in my double digits starting at age 10. That's when we began to come to the Science of Mind Church. But in the Unity Sunday School, which was really quite similar, because we were taught that God is love, and that happens to be what's so. And so I loved going to Sunday school. It was a lot of fun. And we had a lot of songs that we would sing. One of them I was trying to remember the words of, because it is all about how we can work together and encourage each other when we're having problems on our own. If we just come together and support one another and encourage each other, then we can get back to our truth that God is all there is. We are a very essential, individualized part of that beautiful divine life. So the song, I remembered a few words of it. I remember the feeling of it because it started out with raindrop, a little raindrop that was all alone, and the sun was coming out and it was going to disappear, and it didn't want to do that, didn't want to evaporate. And so it just started singing to the other raindrops, and it started out with, "Help one another," the raindrop said. And I looked all over the internet. I couldn't find the rest of the words, but I remembered then that it was all about this little raindrop that was reaching out to the other raindrops, so they didn't evaporate either. And then it finally went into, "But I'll help you, and you help me, and we'll form a river, and we'll run to the sea." Now that's just great. And then it went into other examples, little animals, I think, and so forth. But it was all about how individually we can do quite a bit. But if we really want to make a difference, and if we really want to feel connected with God, our loving source, we want to reach out to each other and say, "Come on, we're all in this together. Let's encourage each other to get back to our source." You know, like the river that goes to the sea. What is the sea? The sea is the presence of the divine spirit within us all. And when we connect with each other in that way, we go back to our source, and everything works so much better. So help one another. Find someone to encourage today. It's a lot of fun, and it makes life oh so much better. Okay, back to your pancakes, whatever you were doing. We'll see you next week, okay? Thank you. Well then, let's have a meditation, shall we? That's a pretty picture. Gives me a sense of peace. And that's what we do in meditation, is we return to that center of serenity. And we begin by taking a deep, holy breath of life. And then feel that breath circulating through our bodies, the chi, the life energy itself. Let it move through our physical bodies, through our emotional nature, through our mentality, bringing serenity, balance, calm, and a sense of true divine power. Continue to breathe naturally and normally, realizing that something is alive within us. It is the infinite presence itself. So we simply let God breathe us. and feel the beautiful circulation of life. And with that breath, let that breath become a pathway to our heart. Enter into the heart, and here we are welcomed into the divine embrace. And we begin to see with the eye of the heart, which is the eye of wholeness, no more duality. It is the eye of love, no more separation. Let's come to the center of the center. And as we allow ourselves to be held so tenderly in this divine embrace, we also realize that all of our hearts are being held tenderly in the great heart of God. And so we rest, and we release any tension, any thought that is not the truth, any feeling that is not uplifting. And we simply let ourselves be loved. Oh, just let ourselves be loved. And in this place of deep, deep connection to Source and the divine direction that comes with it, there is a peaceful power. And we understand that this peaceful power is ours to use. And as we use it for good, by dwelling on that which is beautiful and true, eternal, loving, compassionate, and wise, there is no room in our consciousness for anything else. How sweet it is simply to let God be God in us. Resting in the great heart. There is nothing to do in this instant, only something to know. And what we know is that the presence, love, wisdom, cooperation, and freedom are fully present here and now. Let's dive a little more deeply into this presence and just let ourselves be loved in the silence. And let the sweetness of this moment carry us into this day with grace and poise in the flow of love. Allow the light of the One to enlighten us. It is good. It is very good. And the rippling out of this divine light continues. How grateful we are. All is well.
I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope. I stand for you.
I stand for love. I stand for peace. I stand for joy and for release. For what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope. I stand for you.
You know our world is in great pain. She needs our loving care again. But there are those who fail to see what we have done and what we need.
There is a cost for every act, and now there is no turning back. We burn a bridge, we bang a drum. It's time to rise, the time has come.
To stand for love, to stand for peace, to stand for joy and for release. For what is beautiful and true. To stand for hope, to stand for you. If you're thinking it's not urgent, that we've got more time to kill. If I'm not the one who'll change things, then for heaven's sake, who will? So I will move, and I will climb that mountain one step at a time. I won't be swayed, I will not stop, until we've made it to the top, where we will stand for love and peace. We'll stand for joy and for release. For what is beautiful and true. We'll stand for hope. We'll stand for you. What is beautiful and true. I stand for hope. I stand for you.
That is so sweet. Lovely, lovely. Thank you. Now we will have a reading and an opening spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer from our practitioner, Sarah Funk.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Happy spring. This morning I'm going to read from This Thing Called You. Nothing is alien to me. Nothing enters into my experience but joy, integrity, and friendship. The good I would realize for myself, I realize for all others. I cannot desire a good for myself other than the good I desire for everyone else. Neither do I deny myself the good I affirm for others. I know that in the household in which I live, the host is God, the living Spirit Almighty. The guests are all people. The invitation has been eternally written for all to enter and dwell therein as the guests of this eternal host forever. I will do this treatment in the first person, and please take it for yourself if you so desire. There is a power for good in the universe. This power is God. This power lives in each and every one of us. And I know that it lives within me as I move forward in my day and my week and my life, knowing that this divine presence is always there, uplifting me, guiding me. I like to call this the divine embrace, for it is always there, the divine embrace, as we assist others in their journey, lifting them up and lifting up ourselves. I know that this is the truth. I know that that divine embrace is present all the time, everywhere, for everyone. I see the God in others, and I reach out in joy and gratitude that we're all in this journey together. I know this is the truth. I'm grateful that it is so. And I release this treatment into the perfect law, knowing it is already done. And shall we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Sarah. Lovely. And now, to follow that, we have an affirmation. Will you join me, please, in repeating it? I celebrate the divinity within all and lift each one in consciousness as we rise together in love. Well, we are about praising and raising and praising. It doesn't matter which order it is. It's something that we love to do, and it makes a difference in our world. I love what Booker T. Washington said. If you want to lift yourself up, lift up someone else. You know, it works that way every single time. Once we get outside of the small self, we're able to enter into that divine embrace, and we're able to encourage people to rise up to their great heights of possibility. This whole month has been focusing on encouragement, and of course the year is focusing on building a new consciousness. I know of no better way to build a new consciousness individually and as a group and as a larger and larger group than to encourage one another. And courage, of course, means of the heart. So we begin in the heart to allow ourselves to rise up to a greater awareness of who we truly are and who everyone else in this world is, and what, because of that, truly is possible. So this goes far beyond the pep talks and, you know, the sayings on the wall that people have at work or in their offices to keep everybody motivated. This is not that, because that is more like, hang in there, you know, don't give up, keep pushing, keep fighting, stay strong, never say die, come on, you can do it. This is not that. This is more than that. We encourage one another by seeing and celebrating the authentic self within every sentient being. You know, we may hear ourselves or others say, you know, we're all the children of God. This is sometimes a difficult thing to do, to see divinity within someone who is acting in pretty divisive or negative or volatile or damaging ways, isn't it? And there's enough of that in the world. It's not hard to find it, is it? And so when we hear everyone is a child of God, all right, but sometimes, have you noticed, it's really hard to see that? And sometimes we say, I know we are all the children of God, but that one over there, I think maybe that one was created of artificial unintelligence. Do you ever feel that way? Do you realize how difficult it can be sometimes to see the God in another person? We sing that song sometimes when we're together on a Sunday. I see the God in you, you see the God in me. Isn't it easy to see it in each other in a community like this? And yet it becomes very challenging sometimes to see beyond the words, to see beyond the behaviors, to recognize that we are greater than our opinions and our judgments, and that there is something greater than our opinions and our judgments about others. And remember, we, instead of criticizing, instead of condemning, we wish to co-create with each other. How can we do that if we're feeling on different sides of a dividing line? There is one life, God's life, your life, my life, and we do have the power to use this power for good in beautiful, creative ways, but we have the option to use it in other ways. And if you look around in the world and sometimes in our own lives, we realize we have not used this beautiful power for good intelligently, and we've not always used it for good. There's no evil. There aren't two powers. There's one power, and it's God's power, the only one that there is, and it's ours to use. And we have the ability to use it for good or for not so good. And there's enough of that. Now, we haven't created the stuff in the world. We have not created that nonsensical, horrible, divisive, warlike conflict in our world. But there it is. And it wasn't created by the divine. It was created by the misuse of people of this law, because we're in kindergarten here. As Buckminster Fuller said, we're like infants crawling around on the floor of the universe. We're learning, maybe not fast enough, but we are doing our best to open our minds and our hearts to see the truth beyond the error, to see the beloved within the person who is acting up so terribly that it is difficult to see that. I didn't say this was easy. Ernest Holmes didn't say it was easy. Jesus didn't say it was easy. But we have the capacity to let the largeness of love and the largesse of love reach out and envelop and create that divine embrace, so that we are allowing ourselves to connect. As Edwin Markham said, he drew a circle that shut me out. Heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I had the wit to win. We drew a circle that took him in. This is our assignment, dear ones, to draw greater and greater circles, to get beyond the belief that I will never be able to speak to that one. Artificial unintelligence created him or her, I just know it. Not true. Everyone, without exception, was created by the divine, and we are here to love each other, to encourage each other, to support each other, because we really do wish to bring heaven on earth. And we can't do that if we stay tangled up in our egos and our human emotions. They're okay, these human emotions, but they're not going to create the world that we all want to have. It's important to feel them, to experience them, to acknowledge them, and then to realize that there are greater steps that we can take, that we can change the chaos into order, that we can change the loneliness to love. You know, the prayer of St. Francis is still one of my favorites. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I might not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying to self, small self, that we are born into eternal life. Isn't that better? Doesn't it feel good to know that we have the choice to dive deeply and to begin to raise people up instead of tear them down? And that includes ourselves, of course. So when we move beyond the opinions, when we move beyond the judgments, only human, it's only human, but we're more than only human. Let's not forget that. And it's much like the little girl that I have told the kids in Sunday school about, who, I guess she was about 5, and a little boy came to Sunday school for the first time. And he had come from a different faith tradition, where he'd been taught that God was up in the sky somewhere and was judging him, And she was trying lovingly to begin with to convince him that God was not separate from him, but God was very present within him. And he just was not going to understand or take that or believe it at all. And he was giving her a hard time. And she finally said, God is inside of you. And he said, no, God's up in the sky. And she wrestled him to the ground, opened his mouth and said, hello, God, I know you're in there. That is what children might try to do to encourage each other. Well, we don't go down that path exactly, but it's a cute story. It can be accomplished without physical contact. It can be accomplished by simply our remembering who we are and then remembering who everyone else is. And this ladder of life, I've always loved the image of the ladder of life, with a hand reaching up, with someone helping, and a hand reaching down with someone helping. Now, this is not a hierarchy of my consciousness is greater than your consciousness. We move back and forth. It's like a seesaw, you know? We're helping each other. And maybe I'll be helping you one day, and maybe you'll be helping me another. It's a beautiful image. I have always loved it. And it can change from moment to moment, and it does. So let's get beyond the ego, and let's be authentically where we are. And as we do that, we create an authentic environment for loving, learning, and growing. So we want to praise each other. Praise is a glorious concept. You know, there are praise choirs in some other centers, churches, and they're exciting and they're lifting, and it's wonderful. We can praise and therefore raise the vibration within ourselves and between us and others. And it's felt. It's a felt reality. Praising and raising is a beautiful thing to do. We praise somebody's true qualities, first looking through whatever the words or the behaviors might have been, and praising their authentic self and their true qualities, and support their being raised up to a higher level of consciousness. And we don't have to wrestle them to the floor. We can do it without a word. Without a word. It's like magic. And it's wonderful to see the difference when we lift our own consciousness and fill our own self with such light, the light of Christ itself, that something connects with that other, and they no longer are the other. I love this exercise, the praising and the raising. And I learned it from Marcia Sutton and Lloyd Straw many years ago at retreats in Oregon. And I would like to invite Reverend Mike to come up so we can model it. Okay? This is how it works. And so we start out by asking the other person a name of God in which they would like to be praised and raised. And we do it with each other sometimes. And it feels good, doesn't it? Right. What is the word of God in which you would like to be praised and raised?
Power.
All right. This is how it goes. You may join me if you wish. And it's a hand prayer too. It has hand motions. And I like to sing it. You can say it, but it's nice to sing it. It goes like this.
She sings so well.
I praise you, Michael. I raise you, Michael, in the name of power. I praise you, Michael. I raise you, Michael, in the name of power. I praise you, Michael. I raise you, Michael, in the name of power. Amen. See how that goes? You can do that at home. Yes, do try this at home. You can speak it, you can sing it, but it changes the whole vibration in the room. Good job, Reverend Michael. And it's a delightful thing to do. You can do it without a word. You can do it with a loved one. You can do it with a child, a parent, a cousin, a neighbor. I wouldn't start with strangers, but let me know how that might work out. We can do it silently. We can do it walking through a train station, praising the divine within the human being, praising the truth that sets them, us, all of us free, praising the source that is always loving and supporting and guiding us, and praising how it is individualized in that person and this person and that person. It's exciting. Walk down the street and see God looking back at you through everyone you see. That's a praising, and it's a raising up to their truth. I think it's a fabulous way, a wonderful way to build a new consciousness. Well, where? First, within ourselves and within everyone we encounter, and ultimately in the globe itself. It's ours to do. It's a beautiful opportunity. It is a divine assignment. It was Eric Butterworth in his wonderful book, Spiritual Economics, who said, "Get the view from the top. Before you react in negativity to people or conditions, take a moment and lift up your eyes. Contemplate the challenging experiences from the highest point of view. In the appearance of conflict, see things from the awareness of the allness of life and the ever-presence of substance. You will see things creatively, leading to an attitude that is constructive and optimistic." Here's another exercise for you, and you do it solo. Don't worry, I'm not calling you up again right now. It's the look up exercise. I learned it from Reverend Dr. Kathy Ann Lewis. Okay, you might want to join me in this. Take some challenge, a problem, something that's bothering you, something that feels not yet healed, and focus on that problem for a moment. Put the problem down on the floor, wherever you are, and look at it. Look at it. Don't avoid it. Don't run from it. Just look at it. Now lift your eyes a little bit and a little bit more till you're perhaps looking straight ahead. You're not looking at the problem anymore. You might even begin to feel a little lighter, and then continue to look up all the way up to the ceiling. Look up and feel the lightness of the realization that that was a temporary thing that never was true, never belonged to you, and you now are looking at infinite possibilities, and the light is bright. Just keep looking up. Just the physical activity of looking up can make a huge difference in the energy that we may be feeling. So I suggest that you do try that at home. How can we build a greater planetary consciousness without dedicating ourselves to keeping the high watch? That's what we're doing. And bring our physical bodies along. Remind ourselves to look up often. So we want the high watch for ourselves, for our loved ones, our neighbors, and the world. Like the raindrop that I was sharing with the kids this morning. We want to join with others, and we want to form a river and run to the sea of source, the sea of infinite possibilities. We want to return to our common wonderful, and when we do, we're deeply dipping into source. And as we dip deeply into source, we can't help but lift others to their greatness. In the back of the Science of Mind textbook, Ernest Holmes has many beautiful meditations. And this one is called, "My Thought is in Thee." My thought is in thee, inner light. My words are from thee, inner wisdom. My understanding is of thee, inner God. I cannot be hid from thee, my inspiration and my life. Will you say with me, I am inspired from within.
I am inspired from within.
I am encouraged by spirit.
I am encouraged by spirit.
I am an encouraging presence for all.
I am an encouraging presence for all.
And I'm grateful that I make a difference.
And I'm grateful I make a difference.
And so, my beloved ones, beginneth our lesson.
Yay!
Thank you all of you. And so it's the time of our sharing, and how I love to remember my source, as I do as much as possible every moment of the day. But I feel this loving circulation each time that I give of my good, realizing that it's God's good given to me, and I have the great opportunity to return a portion of it. And as we do give to our beloved center, keeping it strong and healthy and helping it grow, as we do this, of course it returns to us tenfold. But what a joy it is simply to give from our hearts. So will you say with me, I choose to celebrate prosperity. Divine love blesses my gift. It is my acceptance of God as the source of my abundant supply. With joy and gratitude, I share my abundance with this center. In doing so, I am one with the law of circulation. My tithe goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It returns to me multiplied abundantly, and I am prospered, and so it is.
Without a cape and a mask, we can touch the clouds. Yeah. We don't have to leap tall buildings in a single bound. There's a lot of good that we can do standing on the ground. We don't need a jetpack suit to take us to the clouds. It's up to me and you. Right here, right now. Superhero. Na 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 na. Superhero. That make a difference, and all the power's locked within us. All we gotta do is find the key and turn the latch and set it free. Yeah, we don't need to be fast and strong, cause a kind word can go a long way. Help someone whose faith is gone to get back up and carry on. Maybe it's too hard to understand, think it's too much for us to handle, but I promise you that you can, cause you don't need to be a Superman. Jetpack suit to take us to the clouds. It's up to me and you. Right here, right now. Give it up when somebody is down. the clouds. Without a cape and a mask, we can touch the clouds. Yeah.
Good morning. That's quite a jazzy intro. I don't think I've ever been matched up with that intro before. So, my name is Edie Janik. Happy to serve as the president of the Board of Trustees for the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing your morning with us today. We're happy you joined us. And I just need to take a moment to praise Dr. Maxine for a wonderful talk. Thank you for lifting us up. And thank you for reminding us of the power we have within ourselves to do that for others. And some really practical exercises, too. Remember, this is spirituality that works. Yeah. So we were given a few, reminded of a few practices that we have that really help us to stay focused and remember who we are. So thanks again, and thank you, Sarah, for a fabulous treatment. It's good to see you here. And Payson, thank you for the angles, the excellent execution of the live stream. Yeah, see, angles. I don't know how to do. I haven't been trained on angles yet. So, but yeah, fabulous job there. And Reverend Michael, as we referred to him today, Reverend Mike, for stepping up. Linda's back there also. Thank you for helping us. This is praising people. Linda, thank you for this lovely setting at the Inspiration Cafe. And hey, Rich, thanks. He does a lot. He does a lot of things. All right. So, March Spot came out last Thursday, so you can, I'm not going to read it to you right now, but you can go to our website and take a look at it. It really just basically, the theme is welcoming in spring, and we've, have had some fabulous activities lately in our community. And so if you want to see what we've been up to, there's a list of them there. Sorry, my eyes are tearing. And I think I want to just focus on a few points from the Bot Spot. We had our first ever Nibbles and New Thought event, which was dinner and people from our friends and members from our community coming together. We found a place. We're looking for other places too, but this first one was held at Brick and Brew in Malvern. They have one room. It's the Crystal Room with a really large, beautiful wooden table, round table. So it was really nice for us to have a conversation. And what we did was enjoy, nibble on great food, and exchange thoughts that were brought to the table through questions from the various people around the table. And we didn't get through all the questions. We had such a lively and robust conversation that we have questions left over. So, and the questions pertain to New Thought, pertain to science of mind, our philosophy, our practices, and, pretty, not really much of an agenda other than the questions relate to those topics. And it's nice to hear what other people think. So we will have more. It'll be a monthly event. And of course, you'll see those come out on the Thursday blast that Linda sends out with all the dates, all the information, everything that's happening with links to register. The seating is limited. So if you're interested in joining us for one of those events, you'll need to register. And to do that at our calendar on our website or clicking a link in any communication that's sent out. Usually there's a link there that'll take you right to registering. Or if you're like, oh, I got to register for that, and I don't remember where the email is that has the link, just go to www.cslphilly.org, go to the calendar, calendar events, and then on the calendar, find the date. Our Nibbles and New Thought is always going to be on a Monday, once a month. So you'll look at the Monday, click on the Monday, and then you'll be able to register. So easy breezy, easy. So that's one thing. The other item from the March Bot Spot that I wanted to talk about is our in-person Sunday celebrations for April. So we have two in April. First is April 2nd. No.
Yes.
April 2nd is the first Sunday in April that we will be in person in Eagleville, also known as Norristown, PA, at Interprod, where Rick and Suzanne Smothers graciously allow us to use their location. And then we have Easter Sunday, which is when? April 9th. Right. So Easter Sunday, and for Easter Sunday, we have live music lined up with Jim Wade. And
We'll see who else.
and
We'll see.
others. So, but yes, of course, it'll be wonderful. So we invite you to mark your calendars and think about joining us in person April 2nd and also on Easter Sunday, April 9th. And so those are and then you can go back and read the bot spot if you want to. There's other stuff in there. Those were the two main things I wanted to talk about. We are working on movie nights. We're still working on labyrinth walks, celebrations in the park, weather, nice outdoor weather's coming here on the East Coast. So we are looking forward to being out there with all of you. And we have classes and workshops. Again, you can see those at cslphilly.org. And there's a little pop-up box. Don't ignore the pop-up box. Don't just click the X to make it go away. It's right, because we get used to pop-up boxes, and then they pop up, and then you go like, oh, go away. I want to look at something. But the pop-up box is going to help you know the most recent and most pertinent information. That's why it pops up like that and doesn't go away unless you click it. So, and then you can't get it to come back if you're like, ooh, that pop-up box was going to tell me what I wanted to know, but now I can't get it back. You have to leave the site, come back, let it pop up. I've done that. So I'd like to, so with that, if you are watching, and we thank you for watching, and we just ask that you share, tell your friends, and subscribe, and help spread the word. And that's it for today's announcements. Thank you. Have a fabulous day.
I praise this woman. I raise this woman in the name of joy, and she doesn't need it because she's just Miss Joy-filled herself. I wonder if we could, would you mind having Rich come up and show everybody his shirt?
Oh, no, I don't know if he wants to do that.
Do you want to do that, Rich? It would be very inspirational. Come on, here he comes. This is the other Janik. You don't get to see him very much, and he is sporting something wonderful that I think would just be delightful for everybody. Thank you. Just turn around up here so people can see you. Okay, just in case they can't read it, would you tell them what it says?
I believe it says.
Oh,
that's
she'll
what
tell you.
I do.
Oh.
I fix stuff and I know things.
Anything. Anything. Thank you. That was fun. And now, this has been a fun morning. At least I've enjoyed it. Let's have a closing song now by Faith Rivera. And what else could it be called? Rise.
I close my eyes, I open my heart, I take a deep breath, let the healing start. I lift my hands, I plant my feet, I let love in, I feel the beat that's calling, calling, calling us to rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. I ready my soul, I clear my mind, I'm here and now, in present time. I feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise and trumpet's noise. It makes sweet harmony. Come and rise, rise, Spirit, rise up, rise in me. Oh, rise, rise, Spirit, rise up, rise in me, rise in me. Heart to heart, hand in hand, no turning back, onward to promised land. Do you feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark? Oh, we rise as one. Love's calling, calling out your name. Love's calling, that's why we came. Love's calling, calling out your name. Love's calling, that's why we came. Come and rise, Spirit, rise up, rise in me. Oh, rise, come on and rise. Oh, Spirit, rise up, rise in me. Rise up, yes. Rise up, yeah. Oh, come on and rise up. Come on, lift your hands up, jump, reach for the sky, going up higher, yeah. Rise up, come on, raise your voices, shout. Love is alive, we're bringing the light brighter, brighter. Rise up, come on, lift your hands up, jump, reach for the sky, going up higher, yeah. Rise up, come on, lift your voices, shout. Love is alive, we're bringing the light brighter, brighter. Ooh, come on and rise, 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 rise up.
That was wonderful. I'm inspired. Thank you for being with us today. Let's go forward knowing that we have a praiseworthy life. That as we praise and bless the life within us and the life divine within everyone, we come together in harmony and in enthusiasm and passion for bringing heaven on earth by encouraging one another. Thank you, beloved presence. All is well, and so it is.